Welcome, everybody, back to the Friar Talk YouTube channel and podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Padres, going to be talking a lot about this National Series, going to be doing a little series preview for the Guardian Series, only a 2-game one, so not going to be a ton to talk about in regards to that. But the main thing that we're going to be talking about tonight is going to be the Padres offense, because even though that we know, you went 2-2, you did not score much in this series. So this is obviously a major red flag. We want to talk about the offense, and when we're looking to recap the series, I think the thing that's gonna be the very obvious point of discussion is where is the Padres offense? Because it made sense early on in the year when we looked at this team. Okay, they are not a very strong offensive team, but now we're looking at this team and we see the bats that were added: Brandon Drury, Josh Bell, Juan Soto, and the offense has not been there. So, how are you guys feeling about this offense, and how are you feeling after this? I would say a very disappointing series split against the Nationals.
It's a very disappointing split. I mean, you can't be happy with the split against the Nationals, but I think it's a little worse than we're making. Or not. It's a little better than we're making out to be. We're making it like we are like one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. There's a tweet that came out and said, over the past month that the Padres have scored the sixth most runs in the MLB. Only five more teams have scored more runs than the Padres. So yes, are we going through a little bit of a slump throughout the lineup? Yes, but we're still doing better than the majority of teams out there. The Yankees have been slumping real hard. A few other teams have been slumping incredibly hard. So it's like, yeah. We also had Josh Bell, who was ice cold. He's finally seemed to have found his step. Kim has been hitting well. Myers is starting to come around. Profar is hitting again. I don't know what's up with Grisham. That's still going to be one of the giant question marks of is he going to get hot or not? We just have to get guys going at the same time. It's just one guy gets hot. Like Machado's been hot this entire time, and everybody else has been kind of struggling. Hopefully, we get more bats that are hot at the same time, and then maybe this offense will look like it should be. But I'm not too worried. The team does look down, but everything's going to be going in the right direction. So
I was pissed, bro. First two games, I was pissed. I was so mad. It's like, dude, what the hell's going on, man? Why are we losing to the Nationals? Especially because, I think it was Matt and we were talking about, maybe we were on live or a video, I forgot. But we were saying, like, if you take 3 or 4, and I was really assuming they were taking 3 for sure. I thought I was going to be able to write that down, set in stone. We're taking 3. We take 3, we only got to win 20, 21 more games, something like that, in order to get to 90 wins. That almost assures you get a playoff spot, right? Oh my God. Anibal Sanchez throws a gem. I forgot who the next guy is. Throws a gem. Gray throws a gem. Like, I feel like obviously the offense has to be a little better, especially when it comes to having guys, bringing in guys that are in scoring position. Hitting with runners in scoring position has been what's costing this Padres team in terms of you win a 2-1 ball game, but you had a lot more opportunities. You see right now, I think right now they lead the league in runners left in scoring position, and honestly, last time if I'm correct, they might break the record. they are one of the worst teams in history in terms of leaving guys in scoring position. So that absolutely has to change. Timely hitting, it doesn't really matter what your team batting average is or how many home runs you got, whatever it is. Of course, the home runs are very, very clutch, but you need to be able to hit with guys in scoring position. You could have one of the highest team averages in the league. If you're not doing it with guys on base, it doesn't really matter. So that's what this Padres team needs to be able to start doing, man. Just timely hitting wins. Timely hitting is pretty clutch, and that's what the Giants did last year. That got them their little Cinderella run, and that's what we need to start doing. So hopefully they start doing that. Sean Manaea obviously pitched a really good game, kind of a surprise, but totally not going to discredit the other guys. I feel like they also pitched very good. I mean, Yu Darvish got a start wasted. His start was wasted. That was one of, if not the best start of the year, just because of how deep he went. But he was fantastic. Blake Snell also fantastic. Joe Musgrove makes 2 amazing plays to keep the Nationals at 1 run, and then Sean Manaea goes 7 innings, 69 pitches, and throws a gem, something that we hadn't seen from Sean Manaea in a while. So the pitching was there. The bullpen minus Josh Hader was there. But it's just the hitting, man. Timely hitting is gonna determine whether the Padres are a playoff team or not.
Dude, absolutely. And so going into the series, one of the things that I think I tweeted out, but was basically how much the national starters were struggling heading into the series. So these were their 7-game splits coming in. Anibal Sanchez, 7.2 ERA, 1.6 WHIP. Espino, who actually he's the only guy that didn't have a good outing, 5.5 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. Josiah Gray, 6 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, and Patrick Corbin, 11 ERA, 2.2 WHIP. 2.2. And the Padres couldn't score off of him. Like that to me is the thing where if I'm looking at why I'm really worried about this team, the fact that guys are getting left on base, the fact that you're not putting up any runs against the starters and against it, you just heard those splits. These guys have been horrible lately, and they all came in and they all pitched good games except for Espino. Now, you could also look at it. You can go, hey, this team. You could look at it from the more positive side and be like, hey, this team's, they're looking to gel. They're just not quite there yet. And you could point out the starters have been great. However, it was really frustrating early on in the series. So, I don't know how much of that I could do just because you brought up that they're probably going to break the record for left on base. That doesn't even surprise me because it's not like if you look at guys' numbers that it's like, oh, they have bad numbers or anything like that. It's that, oh, yeah, this guy's hitting pretty good. If you look at the Padres overall, these guys are getting on base. Oh, look, 15 guys got on base today. And then it's like, yeah, and 13 of them got left on. You'll see that all the time with this team. So in terms of the frustrations, I get it from the offensive side because it's not like it's so aggravating where it's like, dude, we cannot score. I think it was the Friday game. We were texting in our group chat and we're like, no way you're not going to score in this inning. And it kept happening. I think it was Saturday actually. Kept happening over and over and over. And we're like, dude, no way this is going to go down. So I don't know, man. I was real frustrated with that. Dude, it was. And then Hader looks terrible. Bro, Hader had one of the worst that outing on Friday. His box score was he came in, he walked the dude, and someone got a hit, and then he chucked the ball over the first baseman, into the outfield. It was an atrocious fielding error, dude, or throwing error. And that was just as bad as it got from Hader. So I am happy that okay, I'll say this. I was really happy to see the immediate adjustment of Josh Hader is not going to close. We're going to fix his mechanics because they're obviously very clearly screwed up. And then we saw Garcia and Martinez come in and get the next 2 saves, which was nice to see, and they both look good. Nick Martinez. Oh, already a comment about Nick Martinez. I like this. Dude, Nick Martinez has been raw, dude. Nick Martinez has been insane out of the bullpen. So, yes, in terms of the lineup, it's been extremely aggravating to watch. But if they can hit with runners in scoring position, just a decent amount, it will go a long way. And Chase, I know you had a ridiculous stat that is unbelievable stat because if we think about this last month of the Padres offense, we think of them as being horrendous. However, Chase, you have something that is crazy to hear.
Oh, yeah. Like I mentioned, you have the 6th most runs scored in the MLB in the past month. It's every other team seems to have a little bit more struggles than we are. We've had our struggles, but teams have struggled way worse than us. And Josh Hader, man. I don't think I've seen a worse implosion from a closer that gets traded to a team than Hader on the Padres. He had one solid outing, and then the next 3 have been, I think he's given up 3 runs in 2, and then another 3. Barely gets a guy out. Hasn't been around the zone at all. Throwing it, couldn't throw to first, and it hit the wall funny and gets past Soto. It's just not good in general. But however, on the flip side of things, Luis Garcia looked good. Nick Martinez is pumping 97 in the 9th inning. Suarez has looked amazing. That's another bright spot is Suarez has looked really good. I believe since the one game that I went to opening day, I think he had a 1.72 ERA all the way through ever since that day. So he's looked amazing outside of that one day. Happy to see it. He's kind of one of the guys that we need the most. We needed a handed reliever, a high leverage guy, and it looks like he can be that guy. His changeup looks amazing. His fastball's there. He's hitting his spots. It's great to see. It's just kind of one of these series where, okay, let's carry the momentum from the last two. Let's forget about the first two games of the series. Maybe let's throw Josh Hader out there when we have 5 lead just in case. Let him work in low leverage situations and then come back up. But yeah, everything else looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about a comment earlier. I think Matt, you brought up Nick Martinez. That dude's a beast, bro. I don't know if you guys. I mean, I know Chase was watching the game. I don't know if you were, Matt, but when Martinez came out to close, he pumped 97. The dude was pumping 97. Honestly, I don't think I've seen him do that all year, but he was throwing heat, and his changeup was honestly everything was beautiful for Nick Martinez. Like coming into the season, I was very worried about, does he have strikeout stuff like that? But out of the bullpen, he's been quite arguably our best bullpen pitcher, our best reliever. He's come out, he has the strikeout stuff that I doubted, and he's honestly been one of the more valuable players for the Padres. When it comes to, oh man, we need a start out of someone. Who do you got? You got Nick Martinez. We need a solid outing out of the bullpen. You get Nick Martinez. We need you to close one time. You get Nick Martinez. This is this year's Nabil Chrismat. Last year, Nabil Chrismat's having another fantastic year. Don't get me wrong. But last year it was, we need somebody to go 2-3 innings because this dude sucked. That's Nick Martinez this year. So whatever role they've asked him to do, he's fulfilled it, and he's done it amazingly. So a lot of props to Nick Martinez, worth those $5 million that he was paid. Honestly, that's kind of nothing for the role that he provides the Padres right now, which is Superman out of the bullpen essentially, because he does so much. I'm not necessarily worried about the offense, but the thing is, I've been saying that for too long. Like it gets to a point where you start really reaching that point where like, all right, dude, I'm going to start worrying, because you can't keep facing these crappy pitchers and not taking advantage of it. That's not what a good team does. You don't go into a series against guys that are, nothing but 5+ ERA, I believe, and only split. You got to win the series. You got to dominate the series. You can't win 2 back-to-back 2-1 ball games. I mean, that's almost unacceptable. So I don't know what's going on, man. And the crazy thing is that I don't really feel like anyone's particularly bad. Like, I mean, Josh Bell had his struggles, but he had 2 bombs this series. But outside of that, it's like Jurickson Profar has been struggling. Manny Machado's doing his thing. Juan Soto's doing his thing. Drury's doing his thing. Kim has been fantastic. Grisham's been, he's been on the downslope, but he was doing really well. Like, I feel like a lot of guys were doing pretty well. Even Will Myers, he was doing pretty well. It's just they're not doing it when guys are on base, and too many of these hits are like singles with no runners on, 2 outs. It's like, all right, dude, it's too late, But yeah, I'm not necessarily worried, but it's definitely getting there. I'm reaching that point. I was really mad on Friday and Saturday, to the point where I hadn't been mad like that all season, because I've been very calm, thinking, it's fine, plenty of season left. But you're fighting for a playoff spot right now. You got to take advantage of these games, man. The schedule only gets tougher. This is supposed to be the cake of your schedule. You have to be able to take advantage now. And luckily, I forgot who said it. I think it was you, Chase. Every team's struggling. Apparently, we're all in this together. The Phillies, the Giants, us, and I believe one other team. We all suck right now. So
Yankees.
At least. The
Yankees
suck. The Yankees are horrible. Yeah, the Yankees are really bad. But at least it's not just us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no, I feel the same way, and I see there's a couple of things being brought up here. So I will get to the super chat in 1 second, but I did want to bring this up. People are talking about Michael Bradar, that Michael Bradar has been the problem. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not defending Michael Bradar in any means, but let me show you guys a little chart that will make you realize it's not Michael Bradar's fault, because it can't be Michael Bradar's fault, because he doesn't have enough help. This is when we talk about offenses, when we talk about regression, when players come to the Padres, like a Josh Bell, like whoever it is, Brandon Drury, right? Not Juan Soto. You can't screw up Juan Soto, but a lot of these guys, when we see why are guys not producing, why are they not? Why does their approach look odd at the plate, right? What's all of this going on? 39 coaches for the Rays, 36 for the Yankees, 31 for the Dodgers. That's their staff. The Padres are down here with the likes of the Rockies, the A's, the White Sox, the Royals, the Angels, the National. Look at these teams. They're not good. The only one that's pretty good is St. Louis. And like Seattle is an all right organization. They have no coaching. So it can't be on Ruben Niebla or on Michael Bradar because they don't have help. They're the only guy that a player can come up to and go, hey, like, I'm trying to have this adjustment. I'm trying to make these changes. You can't have one guy to do that to everyone. We saw what Ruben Niebla was able to do as a pitching coach in the offseason when he was just working one-on-one with Mackenzie Gore, because Mackenzie Gore came out and he looked sweet. Then Mackenzie Gore started to struggle, and they did not have enough guys to really work with him because Niebla's working for the entire staff, and there's not enough guys around him. So the Padres consistently have one of the lowest numbers of hitting coaches in the league, almost every single year. And then everyone goes, well, the hitting coach sucked. All right, hitting coach sucked. It was him and one or two other guys, where other teams are rocking out with 5, 8, 10 hitting coaches for their whole staff, where basically every single starter in their lineup has a hitting coach with them, almost in their back pocket that they can talk to. So they just do not have enough. They don't have enough guys in the staff. So I think it's a huge point. So I'm not going to really rip Michael Bradar because it's like, I don't really know how it could be his fault. Like it's not just it's just him, and that's one of the biggest issues with that. And then JDS said, Padres need to stop trying to play as great players and start playing as a great team, pass the baton and do what winning teams do. I definitely think that I feel a lot of it feels like there's a lot of pressure with this Padres team right now. Like guys are going up to the plate and you can feel there's almost like anxiety at the plate. Like you see them come up and it's like, they can feel all the pressure of like, we haven't been hitting, we haven't been producing. We're supposed to be the best lineup in the sport because we just added Juan Soto. And basically, since the trade deadline, all the guys that have been on the Padres have sucked. Like besides Machado and besides Kim, basically all of the other guys that didn't get traded, and you can add in Josh Bell because he's been bad, but he started to heat up a little bit. But all these guys have put up horrible offensive numbers because it's like, all right, we got to start showing out, and we've definitely seen that. So. I don't know. What do you guys think about this, and what do you think about the hitting coach and Michael Bradar stuff?
I mean, we talked about last year. The hitting coach was like a never-ending revolving door. Oh my God, the Padres suck at hitting. We need a new hitting coach, and they did that year after year after year after year. Instead of actually building a good coaching staff for hitting and pitching, I mean, seriously relied on Balsley, just Darren Balsley for all those years. And did it work? Yes. Did he probably need a lot of help with it? Yes, but they didn't do that. The Giants last year, I believe, had 6/7 hitting coaches in the dugout. So imagine this. You have, I think it's 12, 13 players allocated to just hitting. You have one guy to fix 12 and 13 swings to go through 12 to 13 different videos, different mechanics. It's way too much work for one guy. That's why the Giants have 6. One coach for every 2 to 3 players. And that's a pretty good amount. Same thing with pitching. You have 12, 13 different mechanics that all are different arm angles, different pitches, different spin rates. Everybody needs a little bit something different. You can't have one guy try to fix 12, 13 people's swings. 12, 13 expert pitches, arm angle, release points. You can't have them go through that much film and expect them to be able to help every person on a daily basis in the dugout or just fixing swings on an off day. It's too much work for one man. That's why the good teams have 6 hitting coaches and maybe 3 or 4 pitching coaches. What do the Padres do? Nah, we're good with just one, buddy. We don't need another one. We just got this great guy from the Giants, and he's going to do just fine, even though he had 5 other people to help him. Yeah, no. That's not how it works. So, yeah, hire more coaches.
Okay. So obviously looking at the comment, Padres need to stop trying to play as great players and start playing as a great team. That's kind of what the Padres have been having an issue with lately. I think the team chemistry is there. I think it's all there. It's just a matter of, I do think that pressing with runners in scoring position, they do have some tense at bats, very horrific at bats. And I don't want to bash him because I really, really like him, but Jorge Alfaro puts together some of the worst at bats I've ever seen in my life because he swings at every single pitch thrown to him. So something has to change in terms of the plate approach. I mean, it depends on the guy. Obviously, for Jorge Alfaro, he needs to be more conservative, swing at his pitch. Other guys need to be a bit more aggressive. It's just it depends from guy to guy. But yeah, I completely agree. It's in terms of, you just got to get guys in, man. You got to get guys in when you're given the opportunity. Leaving runners on is essentially what costs you all the games, pretty much, that you've lost in the past. What are we, 8-12 since we got Soto and Bell? And it's pretty much all been the same story. We left this guy in scoring position, or this pitcher got rocked. It's all been the same story. So, obviously something has to change. I mean, the pitching's not always going to suck. That is a very good pitching staff. But, I mean, it's not even just hitting with guys in scoring position. It's that they struggle heavily against some of the best pitchers in baseball. It's there's a lot of things factoring into the offensive struggles. But in terms of, especially facing top tier pitching, they haven't been very good, and that's all you're going to see come playoff time, and at least 9 more games where you have to face some very good Dodgers pitching. They got 3 guys in the top 6 in ERA right now, I believe. So you're going to have to step it up against those kind of pitchers. I'm going to get off right now, so I'll just try and answer whatever questions or whatever statements I'm interested in, and then I'll dip out real quick. But could Hader have lost confidence from being traded, which in turn is affecting his game? I think I would say no. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's probably lost confidence because of his last few starts, not because he got traded, last few appearances, not because he got traded. But I think just a trade in general with, relocation and all that, it's just tough on somebody for sure. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dip out. Chase, I didn't notice the background. It looks very nice. It's really cool. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in today. Stick around, listen to Matt and Chase, and I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Isaac.
Yeah, later, man.